Hey friend, welcome to the Branding with Jade podcast. I'm Jade, also known as the Aussie Adventuress, and I left the high-flying corporate world to chase my dreams and build an online business. Now, my biggest passion is teaching you how to get paid to be yourself doing what you love. If you want my secrets on all things personal branding, marketing, entrepreneurship, and making money doing what you love, then lovely, you are in the right place. Let's go. Hello, and welcome to episode 23 of the Branding with Jade podcast. I am a few days late this week, but I think that's okay in the current climate. I'm being a bit more lenient with myself, and I think you all should too. I'm not saying completely just stop working, but just feel whatever you need to feel and do whatever you need to do to protect yourself and feel safe in this time, because we are all going through a really weird time, and it's something none of us have ever experienced in our lives, and we need to learn how to cope with it. We need to adjust, and we need to work through what's going on in our own ways. And so just be aware of what's happening and really work with it to make sure that you're acknowledging your feelings and you're doing what feels right for you. And that's pretty much what I've done this week. I actually started the week off in Moreton Island. My boyfriend and a couple of our friends, we went away for a bit of a weekend before all the craziness really hit in Australia. Nowhere too crazy. We didn't leave Australia. We didn't leave Queensland. We just got the boat about an hour away. So our friend has a boat, and because we were all meant to be in the Philippines for a wedding, we thought we'll just take the boat across to the island and have a nice little relaxing getaway together before the boys have to go back to work, because they had the time off for the Philippines. And so we thought we'll just do something. And our friend had his girlfriend come over to visit from Canada because she was meant to be at the wedding as well. So the four of us just went across to Moreton Island for the weekend, and it was really lovely. We got perfect weather. It was so beautiful. The water was so blue. We saw so much wildlife. We got to see turtles, stingrays. Do you know stingrays jump out of the water? I never knew that. It was so awesome. So we had a really great time. But we did notice the effects of coronavirus there and social distancing. Like, the DJ told us not to dance because people weren't allowed to get too close to each other, and there were signs everywhere. And this was just the start of things really starting to change in Australia, because once we got back on Monday, that's when things really started to blow up. Like, it's been a bit of a roller coaster week, and anyone in Australia, like, you kind of just have to joke about it, because it's just like, I don't know, our government is just so confusing with the instructions they're giving us. And so I've become a little bit trapped in the TikTok rabbit hole of just watching everyone's videos about what's going on, and it's been cracking me up. And that's also why I've been a little bit unproductive this week, but I just felt like I needed that, and I was allowing myself to just process and just laugh. Sometimes that's so important. And I ended up starting my own TikTok account and creating my own TikTok videos, so it's been an interesting week. Let me tell you that. But that brings me to today's topic, which is all about how businesses are adapting to the current climate. And it really is all about adapting, because we don't know what's going on. Like, literally every day something changes. And Australia is probably a few weeks behind Canada and the USA and now New Zealand in terms of lockdown and what we're doing here. We haven't gone into full lockdown mode yet, but people are just starting to make the choice to self-isolate, and are being encouraged to do so. yet a lot of businesses are still open, but it's confusing in terms of what businesses are still open, and that's where a lot of the jokes on social media are coming from, because we don't understand some of the things, and so it's been a bit funny. Like, there was one announcement this week where hairdressers could stay open, but you could only go for appointments of 30 minutes, and obviously no girl's hair appointment is ever less than 30 minutes. So then they just abolished that and said, nah, hairdressers can stay open and you can go for your full appointment. And it's just weird. And they've still got schools open and things like that. Yet restaurants have closed. They're only allowed to do takeaway now, and obviously that affects me. So now I don't have a job to go to. Lots of other people all over Australia are feeling the same kind of things, and so it's been a very interesting week. Also, gyms were told to close, so I went to my last gym session on Monday, and so that's been really interesting, because now I need to keep the motivation up to just exercise at home, which is something I've never been good at. So that's going to be a challenge for me. But it's a challenge everyone across the world is facing. So I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying these are the things and the measures that have started to take place in Australia this week, while we're not yet in full lockdown mode, which I believe is probably going to happen soon. Because it's going to happen. Borders are closing, all kinds of things, and it's just been a very interesting week. But in this climate, businesses need to adapt, and I've noticed some really cool things that a lot of businesses are doing, and so I wanted to share these observations, because maybe you've got a business in one of these areas as well, and you're thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do? And maybe you could get some ideas from this. So a lot of the businesses that have had to close this week are things like your gyms, your beauty salons, your restaurants, your cafes, and all non-essential services. Although I don't know why shops are still open, but like, aside from supermarkets, I don't think shopping is an essential service. Yeah, here it's okay so far. But but I think Australians are just starting to keep their distance now anyway. But so what are some businesses doing? So for example, the gym that I go to is a functional and boxing gym, and it's like 12 rounds. And so whilst we can't go to the gym, what they've done is they've put all our memberships on hold, but they're still providing at-home workouts for us. So they're going live in a private Facebook group for us. They're starting a YouTube channel. They're doing all these things to keep us motivated, to keep on top of us, and to ensure that we stay fit during this difficult time. They also put in an order to get equipment for any of us. So anybody who wanted to get like dumbbells and things like dead balls and things like that, that you can use to work out at home, that will fit in with the exercises and routines that they're going to create for us. They decided to help us source those items, because they know it's going to be hard to get that in shops. And so they did everything they could to make it an easy transition to us working out from home. And to me, that's going to be really memorable, because they're really going above and beyond to service their clients and to widen their community as well, because they're not just making the training private, they're starting a YouTube channel so they can help other people as well. And this way they'll grow an audience, they'll get more people liking them, and then later, once this is all over, they might be able to release online programs. They might be able to get more clients coming into the doors, because they've been proactive throughout this time. They haven't just shut the doors and gone, okay, you're all on your own, we'll see you when we reopen. They're doing their bit to help us, which is going to create really good experiences, really good word of mouth, really good testimonials, and that's what's going to make them bounce back strong when they reopen. The same with some local cafes and restaurants. They're not allowed to have people sit inside anymore because of the social distancing rules. So instead of just closing their doors and saying we're not going to serve food for the time being, a lot of them are adapting and shifting and offering different services. You can phone up and order food and they'll deliver it to you. Or one of the cafes, one of my favorite local cafes, they've started putting together care packages which you can order, which is like your weekly grocery shop with some fruit, some bread, some local produce and that kind of thing. And they're delivering these baskets to you so you don't have to go to the supermarket. And they've got stock in their store. So if you need some of the basic items that you can't seem to get at a supermarket right now, you can buy it from them. And that way you're supporting your local small business, which is going to really need your help. And they're doing their bit to support their community and help them, which means once they reopen, they're going to be memorable to people because they've been there for us throughout this time. They're adapting and making sure that they can provide the community what it needs throughout this time. Things like hairdressers and beauty salons, even though you can't physically help people right now, what you could do is provide DIY tips to help them feel better about their time in isolation. Think of all the girls that are going to be sitting at home, spending more time scrolling through social media, feeling worse about themselves because they're comparing to these Instagram models who've had these pictures taken probably months ago and are still posting them. And they're comparing themselves to that and thinking, well, my hair doesn't look good anymore. I can't get my nails done. I can't do this. I can't do that. My eyebrows are growing out. All of this kind of stuff. What if you provided DIY tutorials to help them instead of them having to turn to YouTube and find an influencer that they love who's going to give them tips? Why don't you provide those kind of tips? Build a personal brand and share those tips with your audience so that once this is all over, they're going to keep coming back to you. Nobody really loves DIY. We love to pay people to pamper us. So you don't have to worry about revealing your secrets and losing clients after all of this is over. Your clients are going to come back to you. They're going to be thankful that you showed up to help them during this time. They're going to be thankful that you cared about them enough to show up and teach them and give them advice on how to stay looking nicer while they're at home, how to feel better about themselves, how to take care of themselves, and that kind of stuff. And as soon as we all come out of this, they're going to remember how much you helped them and they're going to be rushing back to you. So it's not a matter of thinking, oh, my doors are closed, there's nothing I can do. You can do so much. And maybe you could create an online workshop if you wanted to still be able to earn an income throughout this time. You could create a workshop, a course or something that teaches people about applying makeup or teaches people about how to DIY different hair trends and things like that. And people will probably pay for that during this time because they're going to be sitting at home bored, wanting to learn things, wanting to try things, wanting to feel good about themselves. And so they're going to really look to you for that guidance because you're the go-to person. And if you're not there and they find someone else to be their go-to person, then that's when you risk losing the client because they're going to go to whoever's been there to support them through this difficult time. Remember, this is a difficult, weird time for everyone. So if you can show up and if you can be supportive to your clients and to your potential clients down the line, then that's going to go a long way for you when this is all over. People in businesses like brokers, real estate agents, that kind of thing where you really rely on that rapport with your clients. You don't need to do that face to face. Yes, it's better. It forms a stronger bond, but you don't need that. You can host your meetings through Zoom. You can sign documents online. You can even probably do home inspections virtually. If you can't open a house to have lots of guests coming through, why not you just go in with your phone, do a live stream on Facebook and share it to the people that want to come and view the home. There's still ways to virtually keep running your business. I noticed this as well with the New Zealand Prime Minister. Now that they're on lockdown, she's been doing live streams on Facebook. That's something I've never seen a Prime Minister, like someone in power, do. But she's doing that to stay connected with her people, to show them that she's there to support them and that she's not any different to them. She's in isolation as well. So doing these things, showing up vulnerably, showing up and helping your audience is going to be something that is going to be so valuable to them in this time. And the biggest thing that you can be doing, if you haven't had the time to do this, if you've been too scared to do this, if you've been hiding behind your offline brick and mortar business because you thought it was safe, you thought it was fine, you thought everything was going to just keep running and you didn't need the internet, this is your wake-up call. Now is the time to focus on building your personal brand. No matter what business you're in, this is your chance. You don't have that physical location to go to necessarily. You don't have to be driving around between appointments. So you've got spare time. You don't have the commute anymore. You don't have to be opening and closing stores, or you don't get to be seeing clients face to face. So you've got all this extra time to work with. What could be better in that time than to show up and build your brand online? Start getting your name out there even more. Start attracting a new audience. This is your chance to really focus on establishing a name for yourself online. So while you may not be able to physically work with clients or do your actual work right now, you can still be networking. You can still be communicating with people. You can still create a really strong tribe of people that see value in the content you're putting out, that love what you're sharing, that really feel a strong connection to your story. And this can build up a potential client base for you down the line when you can reopen. Learn social media. Start building an email list. Think about skills you perhaps teach in an online workshop or course. Make little challenges to get people involved and excited. Create a Facebook group. There's so many things you could do to build a really tight-knit community and to really establish yourself as an authority online and do the things you probably didn't have time to do before. And I know you might be sitting there and going, oh, but I'm not going to feel my best at this time, and I'm not going to look my best, and I'm scared to show up, and I don't want to do this, and it's not the best time for me to start. It's absolutely the best time. When in your life have you been given so much time to actually invest in yourself, to actually show up and be creative and do something different, and to not have all of the hustle and bustle of your normal daily life coming at you from every angle? And I know some of you have kids at home, and that can definitely add pressure. I'm hands up saying I definitely don't know how you'll do that. But I know lots of stay-at-home mums that build businesses and have their kids at home with them. So it is possible. You just need to do what feels right, but also don't hide behind fear. Now is the time to really turn that fear on its head, because we will get through this, and it's the people that are showing up, it's the people that are inspiring others and staying connected, and whether it's just you showing up to make people laugh, or you're showing up to encourage people not to take things so seriously, or it doesn't matter what you're showing up for, but find your thing, show up, keep showing up, build your audience, build your tribe, and when you come out of this, because you will, we all will, you're going to be so thankful that you did it, because I have never heard a person that says they regret building their personal brand. Everybody that has been a success has got a strong personal brand. And if this is something that you've been putting on the back burner because you didn't have time, now is your chance. Start building your personal brand. And if you don't know where to start, if you're thinking, oh my God, there's just way too many things to do, I don't know what to do, then go download my personal branding checklist. I'll link it in the show notes. And if you follow me on Instagram, it's also available in my bio. But get the branding checklist, because I take you through step by step each of the things you need to create a powerful personal brand. And if you don't know where to start with each of the things, I give you tips, I give you resources, and I give you so much stuff that you can do to get started on building your personal brand. And I was just referring to my notes, and the next thing I was saying on the social media topic and personal branding topic is there's a reason why there's been a sudden jump in the number of people jumping over to TikTok. We now have time to learn it. So yes, I got sucked into the rabbit hole over the past few days, but it brought me so much joy because I just find everywhere else on social media right now is so serious, and everywhere you turn, it's just coronavirus, COVID-19, and it's fear, and it's stress, and it's worry, and it's quarantine and self-isolation. But you go to TikTok, and yes, that topic is still all over it, but it's everyone turning it into a big joke. And I think we just need that at this time. Just laugh about it and don't be so serious, because at the end of the day, you can't control it. It's happening. What you can control is your feelings. And if you just buy into the fear, and if you just keep obsessing over it, you're not going to do yourself or anyone around you any good. So laugh about it, have some fun with it, and just do other things to take your mind off it. And that's why I'm enjoying TikTok, because it's like a place where I can show up as myself, but I don't have to be so serious. I don't have to talk business. I'm just having fun with it. And so I think you'll see a lot of millennials have been and even older than us have been jumping over to TikTok. And I think it's just like a place to go for a release right now. And it is a great place to still keep building your personal brand, because there's a lot of videos on there as well that talk about why Instagram influencers go on there and then they're a bit stressed because they can't have all their pretty filters and pictures and all of that kind of stuff, because it's more real. And that's why people love TikTok, because it is more real, and that's what people want these days, real. So it's a great place to build a personal brand. It's a great place to build a strong following for people to really get to know you and like you and trust you. And you can use it to link people to your Instagram. So if you're like me and Instagram is still your primary platform, then you're not just jumping ship to TikTok, but you're using it strategically to send people to Instagram. So it's a really powerful place, and you can go viral a lot quicker on there, which will then help you get the growth on Instagram as well. And you may discover that you find a totally untapped audience that you never thought you'd find, because you've gone to a new place. And I know I often talk about just stick to one social media channel, but I think right now, because we do have the extra time, you can do a couple more. You can experiment. Don't lose focus from your primary one that you're really putting a lot of effort into, but go and have some fun on the other ones. Use it as a little bit of an outlet, because you've got all this extra time in your day now, so you can afford to have a little bit of fun. So that's a way that business owners like myself are adapting. We're learning new skills. And for the online business owners, this is an incredible opportunity. This is like the moment we've been waiting for. For the first time in history, we're not having to justify what we do. People are actually looking at us going, maybe I should have started an online business. Maybe jobs aren't so secure. Half the Australians in the Centrelink lines now are going, what am I going to do with my life? I'm for the first time in my life, I'm having to rely on support from the government. I never expected that. I always thought I was in a safe, secure job. I always thought that life was on track. I was doing what I was meant to do in society, and look how that has been flipped. So for the first time in history, the masses are waking up to just how valuable having an online business is. How incredible a moment are we living in, where we now have the opportunity to be there, to be the support for all the people that want to learn online business, to show them that it's possible to actually build a successful business online, and to teach them the steps they can take to start doing it for themselves as well. So pivot your offers if you have to. Start creating free training if you have to. But the fact that you have an online business means you know how to start an online business. And think of all the people out there that right now are wanting to know how they can start an online business. So maybe you have to pivot a little bit. Maybe your one-to-one coaching offers aren't going to sell right now because people are a bit scared and aren't necessarily going to want to invest 30,000 or 15,000 in a one-to-one coaching container when they're uncertain where the next paycheck is coming from. But they might want to join a really tight-knit membership community where they actually get to feel part of something, where they get to feel connected with people. You've got to remember, these people aren't used to being in isolation. Like us people that work online, we're kind of used to it. We sit at home a lot. We're not around people a lot. But these people that have just lost office jobs or hospitality jobs or retail jobs, they're used to being around people all the time. They're going to want a community, and they're going to want somewhere to go to feel supported, to feel connected, to vent, to talk, to feel like they matter, and to feel like they can accomplish something in the world and that they can achieve their dreams. And imagine if you're the person that's going to be there to help them. You could set up a membership. You can create challenges to really create a tight-knit community. You can focus on building your email list. You can create a Facebook group. You can do so many things to really start creating a community vibe that helps your audience feel good in this time of isolation and worry and stress. And this is a real opportunity to get creative and embrace what's going on. Yes, it's tough for all of us. Yes, we're all just doing the best we can in a very confusing situation. No, I'm not saying to go and prey on vulnerable people. I would never ever say that. What I'm saying is this is an opportunity for you to pivot your offers and to help people that are going to be looking for help. And if you do it the right way, you could really change somebody's life. So now is the time to really get creative and think about what you can do to attract that audience that really needs you right now, and to create offers that are going to actually be needed in the marketplace right now by so many people out there who are struggling and are unsure of what their next moves are going to be. They're feeling uncertain. They're feeling scared. They want to be part of something where they can feel good about themselves and where they can feel supported and where they can be part of a community. So if you can create that, then you are doing a huge service to people, and they're going to be so thankful to you for that. And I just want to really finish off by talking about, I think it's a really important time to really protect your mindset as situations worsen, as more of the world moves into periods of lockdown and isolation. And the real hard thing here is we don't know how long it's going to take to get rid of this. Some people are saying a few weeks, some are saying a few months, some are saying a year. And so there's so much uncertainty around how long it's going to take to recover and what's going to happen. And so when you're faced with all of that, then mental well-being can really suffer. And so it's really important to really protect your mindset and to feed it with the good stuff. Avoid the news and media as much as possible. Like, obviously, it's important to know what's going on if it's going to directly affect you, and you need to know if you're allowed to isolate or not isolate, or go outside or not go outside. So yeah, watch the news if you have to find stuff out, but don't stay fixated on it. Like, you could literally watch TV all day long and just scroll from channel to channel, just listening to coronavirus news all day long. It's literally everywhere. You turn on the media, you turn on the news, you turn on the radio, that's all they're talking about. And if that's all you're focusing on, then that's definitely going to spiral you into some kind of negative, crazy, I don't know what mode, because you can't just focus on that all day long. It will send you crazy. And so, and I know, because that's what I was doing for a few days, and then I was like, I have to stop. This is not good for me. And so I decided to just watch one piece of news a day, or not even watch. I don't watch the news. I only listen to one piece of news a day, and that's when I turn on Triple J in the morning and they do their news coverage. That's enough for me. I get what I need to know from them, and that's enough. I don't really need to know much else than that. I found out from the radio that restaurants were closing. I found out from the radio that hairdressers, beauty salons, schools, all that kind of stuff are open, not open, all of that. So I just find out what I need to know from there. So I would recommend just choose one source that you go to each day, and one that you trust and you're happy to rely on. Tune out all the people around you who are telling you different things. I had this last week with my boyfriend. One of his friends was working on this site that he was due to go to, and he was calling him like 10 times a day saying, oh bro, you can't come here, it's the borders are shutting, oh they're closing the site, oh everyone's going home. And so it was stressing Freddie out, and it was making him stress me out because he kept saying all these things to me, and I'm like, no, just calm down, let's Google it. And you'd Google it and you'd be like, no, that guy's wrong, the borders there aren't closing, it's WA borders that are closing. Queensland is closing in a few days, but you're leaving Queensland, so it's okay, and you'll be allowed to come back, you'll just have to be in isolation. So people are just picking parts of the news and spreading it, and that's where all these rumors and fear and all of this kind of stuff is coming from, because nobody's doing the research. And so if you do want to know the news, do it yourself. Research, read the articles, and listen to the credible sources, and don't listen to all the other people that are telling you stuff. Don't listen to the Facebook posts where people are sharing things and saying their opinions, because that's not a credible source. So keep your mind strong during these times. Unfollow people who aren't bringing joy and positivity to your day and to your feed. Politely ignore conversations that are stressing you out. This was happening with my girls group chat that I have with my friends back in Perth. They were like, I've got a bunch of friends that are teachers and nurses and all of that kind of stuff, and so they're coming at us with all the hard facts, and my teacher friends were stressing about having to still be at work and at school, and me and one of my other friends are like, we just don't want to be part of this conversation. It's not that we don't care, but it's just stressing us out. We know what's going on, we know it's affecting everyone, and to just keep talking about it all day, every day, is not doing anyone any good. And I know that's the way that some people deal with it, but that's not the way I like to deal with things. I like to just ignore them, I guess. But it seems to work out fine for me, and I know what I need to know. And I think in these situations, it is the people that don't watch the news that have the stronger mindsets, because we know that we're in control of our reality. And as long as we're following what we need to do, and we're obeying the rules, and we're not harming anyone, then we don't need to fixate on the situation. We can't control the situation. So focus on what you can control, which is your mindset, your way that you're showing up in the world, the way that you're helping people. Focus on breathing and meditation. Get out in nature, eat well, drink water, exercise at home, journal. Do the things that make you feel good, because it's the people that keep their minds strong through these difficult times that will continue to thrive in business. I'm not saying we won't all have off days here and there. I had one of those days earlier in the week when I heard on the news over the weekend about the death toll in Italy. Like, that is the country my family all comes from. So it's pretty hard for me to hear that. And then I decided to go and play Italian music and drive around and cry. I let the feelings out, I released them, and I felt better for it. I know that it's beyond my control. I know that I can't do anything about the situation. I chose to no longer pay attention to that news and focus on the death tolls, because it's not helping me. I can't change that situation, and it's not doing anyone any good. So I allowed the feelings to pass, and then I decided I'm going to change what I focus on, and I'm not going to allow it to get to me. It's not that I don't care. I'm just protecting myself, because if I don't protect my well-being, then that's not good for the people around me. That's not serving my audience because I can't show up for you. So I need to protect my mindset so that I can help everyone else around me. You need to protect your mindset so you can help yourself and the people around you. So the key is to have things that you know will get you out of a slump. Maybe it's watching funny TikTok videos. Maybe it's putting on a happy movie. Maybe it's dancing to your favorite songs, having a Zoom chat with your friends. I was going to say go out for a nice meal, but we can't do that these days. You can't go out and get pampered. So things that you can do at home though, have a nice bubble bath, put on a face mask, read a book, listen to a podcast, things that are going to make you feel good. Whatever it is, make space for that. We have so much more time now, so we don't have to be in constant hustle mode. We don't have to feel guilty if we're not working every second of every day just because we've been given all of this extra time to work. It's not that. We've been given this extra time because the universe has recognized that people need to slow down. We've run ourselves into the ground. We've run the earth into the ground. And now we're being given an opportunity to reset, to recalibrate, to refocus on what really matters and what's important, and to show up in the way that shines a light for the people around us. So be in flow, have a plan, but allow yourself room to breathe as well. Show up in whatever way feels right for you and adapt to what is going on, and you're going to do great. There is no right answers right now. Just be yourself and show up how you feel called to. Whatever you feel called that your audience needs from you, do that, because you're being given this time to follow your thoughts, to trust in yourself, to be alone, and to really hone in on what it is you feel called to create. And when you are creating from that space, you are going to make magical things happen. And it's such a gift that we've been given right now. So let's not waste it. And that's what I want to end on today. I hope this episode inspired you in some way. I hope you're holding up okay. I know these are weird times, and if you ever need to chat, then my DM is always open on Instagram. That's the best place. I really don't do Facebook messages. Or email. You can email me. But yeah, let's just all be kind to one another, because everyone is just doing the best they can with what we've got in the information we've got, and everyone's trying hard. There's like this cosmic shift going on in the world as well, where everyone is starting to be nicer to one another and to realize we're all as vulnerable as each other in this. And it's really nice to see the stories that are coming out around the world, and people helping one another, people coming together through their balconies, singing songs, all of that kind of stuff. It's really beautiful, and the earth is healing. Like, if you choose to focus on the positives, you can see so many positives out of this situation. And I think it's when you're focusing on the positives that you're going to make the right moves within your business, because you're not coming from a place of fear and scarcity and lack. You're coming from a place of love and abundance, and you know everything's going to be okay. You know that there's a reason why this is all happening. You know that it's working in your favor, and you know that you're going to come out the other side okay, and that this is going to be a really powerful story later on, because you have got through it. We've been through recessions before. I actually started working at the bank in the last recession. I started in December 2007, and there was that global financial crisis in 2008, and we thought we were all going to lose our jobs because the Bank of Scotland shut down, and they owned the bank that I worked at. But another Australian bank bailed us out, and we were fine, and I went on to work there for 10 years, and it's still going strong. And now banks are one of the essential services that are never going to lose their jobs. So I don't know where I was going with that one, but we're just always going to be okay. And I think that's the important thing. And I know, yes, there are people that are suffering. Yes, there are people that are definitely not okay right now. And I empathize with them, and I feel for them, and I feel for the families that are going through this with loved ones that are suffering, because it is really sad. And I know that. I know there's so many people that are financially insecure right now. Like, your whole world has been tipped upside down. And that's just got the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air song in my head. My mind is going in all weird tangents. This is what happens when I don't like plan out my notes specifically. Like, I just wrote a bunch of things I wanted to talk about today, but I didn't really write notes as such, and so my mind's going all in weird tangents. But that's me, and that's fine, because I still think I think that what I'm saying is valuable, and I think it's more important to just speak the truth right now, and to not be so scripted and not be so planned out. Just speak what comes to your mind, because when you're in that flow and when you're doing what is just naturally coming to you, then you're really speaking the truth, and someone is going to need to hear that from you, whether you're showing up on a live or on a podcast or on an Instagram story, in those vulnerable places where you don't get to be as prepared. I think those are the messages where it's going to be so important right now, because people want that message from you. They want to hear from you in the moment. They want to feel connected and supported and all of that kind of stuff. And so I just want to end with reminding you that you control the way you feel, and the way you feel will inspire others as well. So focus on your mindset, listen to affirmations, like repeat affirmations over and over if you need to. I've been listening to a girl called Ashley Spadali. I'll link her in my show notes as well, because I think she's just amazing, and she's been one of the people that has really uplifted me throughout this time. And she's been talking about affirmations like, I am healthy, I am healed, I am well, I am strong, I am powerful, I'm abundant. All of those kind of affirmations that make you feel good in this time, and you can just repeat it over and over and really can feel good. And there's another one that I saw on Instagram the other day, and it made me smile so much. It was a song, and I've had it in my head since then. It's, every little cell in my body is happy, every little cell in my body is well, every little cell in my body is happy, every little cell in my body is well. And it just caught on, and when you're singing that to yourself, you're reminding yourself that everything is well, everything is happy. And the more you believe that, the more you're going to project that out, and the more you're going to attract that to you. So focus on the good, focus on the positive. And I know this has gone on a completely different tangent to the topic I started off with, but I think that's okay. I still covered the topic, and then I've added extra in, and I feel okay about that, because I just feel like this is a time when we need to know that we're all here for one another, and it's okay to not have everything figured out, but we just need to work with what we've got, do what we can, show up how we feel called to show up, not put too much pressure on ourselves, and that's the way your business will adapt and work throughout these times. So I'm going to leave it there. Have a lovely day. Thank you for listening, and I will be back next week. Bye for now.